Alright everyone, so you've just picked up your copy of Digimon Cyber Sleuth for the first time. You have no idea what's going on. Maybe this is your first Digimon game you've ever played, or maybe it's just the first time you've picked up the game itself. Well, here I've compiled a list of tips for how you can get started in Digimon World Cyber Sleuth. I have played these games multiple times. You might be asking where is a video about Hacker's Memory. These games are so similar that this will cover both games. So, let's dive right into tips and tricks to get you through Digimon Cyber Sleuth and Hacker's Memory. My number one tip is know your data triangle. No love triangles or weird things at the end. No, the data triangle. We're talking about between data types, virus types, and vaccine types. If you've played Digimon before, you know this triangle. But for those of you who are new, vaccine is the little teardrop, which is super effective, or does double damage, against virus types, which is the little spike ball, which does double damage against data type, which is the cube. And data does double damage against vaccine, which is again the teardrop. This is extremely important. You will take half damage or deal double damage if you are hitting what you are strong or weak against. So it is very important to learn this early on, to keep a variety of Digimon with you, so no matter what you encounter, you have someone that's ready for that battle. And then there's a fourth type. There's the Dash, which is a free type. This is a type that does not do extra damage or take any extra damage from any type. It is always 1-to-1 damage. Now the second part to that is to know your elements. Now this isn't quite as important as the data triangle, but it can make a big difference sometimes. Especially if you don't quite have that last vaccine type to have a full team of 3 to combat some viruses or something. You can use elements to your advantage. Now, elements are slightly different. You will never take reduced damage because of element damage. Elements only will do increased damage. And here's the chart of what they are. So, water will do extra damage against fire, but fire will not do reduced damage against water. And it's a 50% boost. So you can get up to 3 times damage if you hit the correct data type and element type. So, use this to your advantage. It can make the difference between a long, drawn-out fight, or when you're low on items, it could be the difference between victory or defeat. Keeping on the idea of combat, let's move to the end of combat, gaining the experience. Experience is not split among all your Digimon. It is gained by every single Digimon in the team. Therefore, having more Digimon on your team overall gives more experience, because it is not split 7 ways, it is gained 7 times, 1 for each Digimon that you have. So long as your memory can hold it, you can therefore keep a lot of Digimon with you and gain more experience that way. The other thing that mainly will increase your experience gains is something very important. There are a few Digimon and items that will increase your experience gains. These are the Platinum Sukamon and the Tactician USBs. Yes, there's also Sistermon that will slightly increase your experience, but she does very little compared to these other methods. So, keep an eye out for that Digimon, and Tactician USBs are rare. They're hard to come by. If you want a complete guide about how to find Tactician USB gains, click on this link here, and that will take you to my video all about gaining as much experience as possible as you can. Number 5. Always keep your farms filled. Initially, you will only have 1 island on your farm. But when you find farm development kits, you'll be able to add more and more islands, up to 5 islands. Keep converting Digimon to make sure that your island is filled, because once again, experience is never split in this game. It is always gained equally by all. So having more Digimon in there will make it far easier when you have to de-digivolve your Digimon later. You'll have backups ready to step in if need be. Number 6. Know what the farm commands do. There are 3 different commands you can give to your Digimon on the farm. There's the train command. Training your Digimon will allow them to increase their stats. The amount that you can gain is based off of your ABI, and your personality type of your leader, and the personality type of the individual Digimon on the farm. So, training will increase your stats so long as you haven't capped out your ABI. Developing will give you items based on whatever tier that you develop at. This is helped by builders and developer know-hows that you can have on the farm. There are some very powerful USBs you can get from here. You can get a lot of money if you get the correct items that sell really well. Having at least 1 island that is almost always constantly developing things can help you a lot, especially at the 1000 tier if you're looking to get those Tactician USBs that we talked about earlier. And finally, investigate. Investigate is probably my least used command in the farm, it will allow you to get these optional quests that you can go to get someone's property or beat up a hacker. They're really just kind of an excuse to go back into Kowloon to get some scan data for me if I ever wanted to use them. Occasionally you'll find a very simple item from it as well. Some of the items that you can find there are some medals, and some of those medals are very hard to find outside of those cases, so you may have to try that to get lucky if you want to 100%. But that's for 100%ing. That's not for a beginner tip video. Number 7. How to gain cam, or camaraderie. It is an important thing for unlocking many Digivolutions, as it helps you to gain combos when you're attacking in battle. In order to gain it, there are 3 main ways to do it. First is your Digimon in battle will gain a small amount of cam for every battle that they're in. It's not a lot, but after a lot of battles it adds up. Second is in the farm. You can feed them the regular Digi feed that will regenerate, or there are other feeds that you can buy or find that you can also feed to them that will increase their cam. Or you can find friendships. These are not items you can buy, but you can find them in development or from Digimon drops throughout the game. Number 8. Merei. The person in the Digilab can pretty much always tell you where you're going when you get lost. I use her all the time these days because I actually use a mod to skip dialogue because I played the game so much I don't need to hear it. But then sometimes it's like, oh no, where do I go? Just go to the Digilab, talk to Merei, she'll give you a good idea of where to go. And if she doesn't, usually she'll direct you to the office and you can go talk to the PC in Hacker's Memory to find cases, or Kyoko in the bulletin board to find cases in Sleuth. Merei is a great guide on telling you where to go. Number 9. Knowing scan data and conversion. I personally, unless I'm doing Nuzlocke and weird rules, always only convert a Digimon when it's at 200% scan data. The reason for this is it gives them an initial 5 ABI. Now, you might not think, because the maximum ABI is 200 if you're doing the complete edition, why is 5 ABI such a big deal? Well, A, getting someone to 20 ABI in the first place is what lets you get to Mega, so getting a head start on that is great. Plus, it can also give all of your Digimon that many more stat points that they can train to start. So it gives you a great head start, especially early on when you don't have all your Tactician USBs and Platinum Numons and all these crazy ways to get all this experience in ABI, no problem. Early on, it can be an amazing help. So make sure you scan those Digimon, but also remember when you convert them, they go into the bank. If you have room in a farm, put them on a farm so you can start training them up. And finally, number 10, how to gain ABI. ABI is a very important stat for gaining your first Megas. It allows you to unlock those difficult to reach forms, as well as allows you to train more in the farm. The easiest way to gain ABI is to de-Digivolve a Digimon who is relatively high level. The higher level your Digimon is when they de-Digivolve, the more ABI they gain. You will also gain a very small amount of ABI when Digivolving up as well, but this is far less than when you de-Digivolve. The only other way to gain ABI is to use Miracle Meat, which is a limited item that you can only find in a few very limited places in the game, so use that very carefully if you wish to use it. Well, I hope that was helpful. These are just my beginner tips. If you want a more advanced tips, or you think there are some tips that I left out, let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and as always everyone, remember to be awesome. Till the next one, take care. Bye-bye!